All right, thanks everyone for, this is the 10th meeting of the Right to Repair Working Group. Thanks to all of you who could make it and for those who are online. We'll start as we always do with introductions. I'll just start with myself. I'm Chris Taub. I'm the Chief Deputy at the Attorney General's Office, and Christina Moylan is with me today. And she's an Assistant Attorney General and the Chief of our Consumer Protection Division. And then why don't I go to my left with Lynn?
I'm Lynn Gardner. I'm the Director of Legal Affairs for the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, and I'm here on behalf of the Secretary of State.
I'm Jeff Groves. I'm here on behalf of the aftermarket retailers and distributors.
Jack Quirk, Quirk Auto Group, and you're on rest of the dealers in the state of Maine.
That's me. Elizabeth Frazier, Pierce Atwood, representing the automakers.
Brian?
This is Brian Boggs from Tesla, representing the auto manufacturers.
Tommy?
Tommy Hickey, representing the Maine Independent Repair Shops.
Michael? You might not be on it. How about Eric?
Hello, good afternoon. Eric Luftig with Dorman Products, representing the aftermarket parts manufacturers.
All right, and let me just try Michael again. He may have stepped away. Okay. Well, thanks again, everyone, for making this meeting. Let me just sort of set things up a little bit. I circulated a couple documents Friday, I think it was. One of them was the updated draft report, which we've now, among other things, made look a little bit prettier with some color and graphics and things. In terms of substance, let me just walk through what's been changed since our last meeting. So pages 1 and 2 and 3 have not changed at all. Page 4 at the top there just updated that we're meeting 10 times with our final meeting, hopefully our final meeting today. And then we just added a footnote to point out that Michael was substituted in for Megan Sway after she left the ACLU. Then on page 5, we essentially just added some additional discussion of what happened since our January 17th meeting. So just added a description of what we discussed at that meeting, and then how we circulated the revised report, and then my optimistic sort of view of what I hope will happen at the meeting today. And then we also added a footnote to the Right to Repair website because we cite to the website a number of times in the report, so we thought it made sense to add a link to that. Nothing on page 6. Page 7. This all reflects, I believe, language that we agreed on at our last meeting. So we agreed to add a member representing diagnostic tool manufacturers. People suggested, and we agreed, that the independent repair facility representatives should be Maine people, that the member representing the new motor vehicle dealers should be Maine new motor vehicle dealers. So we've added those references. We also had agreed on this language that's down lower on page 7 about the basis for the working group's recommendation, about the commission being advisory. I think that was language that we had agreed upon. And on page 8, this was also language that I think we worked out at our last meeting. My recollection is we had it up on screen and sort of went back and forth a little bit on this, but I think this was the final language that we all agreed upon. And then on page 9, this was language that I believe Jeff had drafted during the meeting. And my assumption, although I don't know that we finally decided who was going to be joining in this language, but I think we assumed it would be the aftermarket parts distributors and retailers, the independent repair facilities, and the aftermarket parts manufacturers. So I just assumed that was the case and put all those entities in there as individuals that are adopting that recommendation. And then finally on page 10, again, this was language I think that Jeff developed, and it was just sort of a response to one of Tesla's recommendations. So that was all that went into the report. And then the other thing that we circulated was the red line version of the amendments to section 1810. And when I was going back through, I didn't think we were gonna have to make any changes to the statute because we had been working on this before and we sort of, I think, come to an agreement regarding the red lines. But as I was going through it, I realized that there were some things we had to fix up. Mostly just to account for things that we had changed in the report. And if you look, I think everyone has this in color, hopefully. But maybe it's not.
There's still a difference in the colors though, so I think
Yeah,
you can still.
so on my version, all the stuff that we had originally agreed on in our previous meetings is in red, and then there were some additional things that I added in blue. And so I'll just give you an example, like in the membership. We originally said it was going to be 11 members, but I had to add that to make it 12 because of the tool manufacturer.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah,
blue
so
and
it's
navy.
Blue and navy or blue and
Yeah.
purple navy.
Yeah.
And then down below that, we did add one member representing diagnostic tool manufacturers. I added the language about Maine independent repair facilities, Maine new motor vehicle dealers. I think Elizabeth had recommended and we agreed that the public member should be resident of Maine, so I added that. I changed in terms of the staggered term, since we now have 12 members. I just updated that to be 4, 4, and 4 for the 3 years. On the second page, this might be hard to see, but about halfway down, number 2, where it says the commission may issue recommendations for best practices for manufacturers to use in providing access to vehicle data. I think there should be an and there because those are 2 different things that the entity is going to be doing. And I think just in terms of legislative drafting, I think there should be an and there. So I went ahead and added that. And then let's see. I think that's it. So no other changes that I made since we last sort of had looked at this language. So that's what we circulated. And I think well, why don't I stop there and see if anyone has questions or if there's anything that folks want to discuss or any comments, concerns?
Yeah. This is Eric, and can you hear me?
Eric, yeah.
Yeah, just was one thing, just looking at the 2 documents side by side. In the last document that we looked at and marked up, it says 1 member representing the public who's a resident of Maine who shall serve as chair. In that document, the other document, which is our proposal, it just, we left it as 1 member representing the public who is a resident of Maine. I just want to make sure that stays, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, because I think later in the report, I believe it says that the member who's representing the public will be the chair. So I think it's already in the report. It's just not set up quite the same way.
Okay, I gotta go find that. Okay.
Yeah, so if you look at page 7, halfway down, the paragraph that starts with the member representing the public shall serve as the commission's chair. So it's.
There it is.
it's
Okay, got it.
different
Got it.
Because, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Yep.
Okay, yeah, it just had to be formatted a little differently, just because one document is like a statute, and so we had to format it in a particular way, and in the report, we could be a little bit less formal, but yeah.
Got it.
that is
Okay,
captured
thank you.
there. Any other questions, comments, discussion? So what I'm wondering then is if there is a member who wants to make a motion to adopt the report with the 2 attached exhibits. Exhibit A is the letter from the Attorney General explaining the setting up of the working group. Exhibit B is the red line version of the statute. So I'll be looking for a motion to adopt the report with the 2 exhibits and then to authorize the Attorney General's office to submit that to the legislature. Yeah, Lynn?
I'll move to authorize the report along with the 2 exhibits.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, Elizabeth, thank you. I guess we can just vote by raising hands. All in favor of the motion, raise their hand. It looks like it's unanimous for all the members who are present. Oh, I should also say that Katrina Fitzgerald contacted me and she gave me her proxy vote. So she votes in favor of adopting the report and submitting it. So I think it's a unanimous vote for all present, right, Katrina? Is that what you got? Okay. This was a very brief meeting. I want to thank everyone for sticking this thing out. I know that this has been, 10 meetings is a lot of time to take out of your busy schedules, especially for those of you who had to come up to Augusta, or even being online. I know it's taken away you from your work. And, we tried to get this done as efficiently as possible. I'm sure we could have done it more efficiently. And if we ever have to do this again, we'll look at best practices. But I just want to thank you all. I know you're all really busy, and I really appreciate all the input that went into this. I think it was, the work that we did was great. I was really glad we were able to get to a consensus. And so on behalf of the AG's office, I just want to thank everyone.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you as well, Tina, and your office for all the work you did. I don't know if you have staff that were helping you, but thanks, right? Right there in front of me. So thank you as well. Because it's a lot to organize. I know these things are tough.
All right, thanks, everyone. We are adjourned.
Wow.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Like picturing it in my head.